Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of vintage Chanel bags, and I have been fortunate enough to purchase them mint condition far below today's market value. On that note, the latest addition to my collection is this stunning and extremely rare Diana single flap in the color ivory with caviar leather. In the months ahead, we're going to dissect this handbag together. The number one question I always get asked is, where do I buy my vintage bags? How do I find pre-loved luxury in mint condition for such incredible prices? Some of you may have seen my video, How to Buy Luxury for Less with 22 tips, but for today's video, I thought we'll do something different. I'm going to take you step by step through my luxury hunting process. Now, bargain hunting luxury bags is as challenging as it gets, so for today's introductory video, I thought we would start with something simpler yet equally important as a wardrobe staple, and that's the classic Chanel brooch. My subscribers know that I'm a huge fan of the vast Japanese luxury resale market, and that's how I scored my Chanel brooch for almost 40% off. This pearl and rhinestone gold-plated showstopper was sold for almost $1,000 on First Dibs, almost $900 on Jolly's Closet, and it's currently listed for almost $800 on eBay US. But I bought it for just over $600. The majority of Japanese sellers do not ship internationally, but that's where Sendico come in, a shopping proxy that specializes in delivering Japanese goods worldwide for the tiny service fee of just over $6. So without further ado, let's get started on today's video on how to buy luxury for less, beginning with the example of my Chanel brooch. Chanel jewelry carries a special legacy in that it is the label which controversially redefined jewelry as we know it. Prior to the 1920s, jewelry was fine, meaning precious stones and rare metals. Most women could not afford to accessorize, and those who could wore only one or two pieces in a discreet manner. Chanel rewrote history by loudly and proudly styling imitation pieces, coined costume jewelry. While the wealthy scoffed that faux pearls and cheap metals signaled inability to afford the real thing, the inherent accessibility of costume jewelry meant that jewelry could be styled in excess, which is playful and lavish. Chanel liberated jewelry from serving only small, modest touches in your outfit to becoming the statement focal piece. It's with this philosophy of jewelry as drama that Chanel brooches are unapologetically loud. While iconic motifs include the Camilla flower, quatrefoil, cross, and number 5 perfume bottle, it goes without saying that the most classic of them all is the interlocking CC logo. Available in sizes from mini to small, medium, large, extra large, maxi. These Chanel brooches are typically made of brass and coated in a gold or silver tone finish and adorned with imitation pearls made of glass, imitation diamonds through use of rhinestones, alongside crystals, resin, or enamel. Chanel annually increases their prices, but currently the recommended retail price for the interlocking CC logo brooch in the costume jewelry range starts at $680 for the simplest design, but generally you really want to budget around the $1,000 mark to be able to afford the majority of options on offer. Of course, as a luxury bargain hunter, that is not a price I'm willing to pay. So in the next section, I'm going to walk you through the process of how to uncover your other market options and your opportunities for significant savings. Let me know if this scenario feels similar. You're looking for a designer item secondhand, you Google it, and you instantly lose hope when you see the staggering price tags listed by the major players in luxury resale. When it comes to Chanel brooch, Farfetch and First Dibs are the worst offenders, with the average listing at minimum $1,000, which is essentially retail price for a used item. The average listing price reduces to about $750 for the remaining platforms. But this saving can quickly get eaten up by shipping fees, authentication fees, custom import tax, which are all expenses associated with the luxury pre-loved shopping process. It is worth noting that Poshmark does have bargain listings at about the $400 mark, but beware that this may be shady considering how store policy excludes authentication for items listed below the 500 threshold. As a small-time buyer going up against these big players in luxury resale, whose customer reach is as far as 28, 60, 90, 190 countries, if you don't like the price, someone else in another continent will simply purchase it instead. The majority of these pre-loved luxury goods are sourced from America or Europe, which makes sense as they're the second and third largest luxury spenders. But did you know Japan ranks 4th in the world for their luxury appetite, yet only a tiny proportion of Japanese sourced luxury goods make their way to these giant e-commerce sites. The vast majority are traded only within Japan. With a smaller domestic-only buyers market, sellers cannot inflate listings with the same pricing premiums that they get to enjoy on the international database with abundant global buyers. So this is where exciting opportunities open up and you're looking at a more even playing field. Rakuten is like the Japanese equivalent of Amazon, and when it comes to searching for the interlocking CC Chanel brooch, you'll find that the vintage gold medium piece listed on Vestiaire Collective is only just over $500 at the Japanese store JJ Collection. The silver pearl medium brooch listed for over $1,000 on Vestiaire Collective is about half the price at the store Yume Ichiba. The matte silver brooch, listed for almost $1,000 on Vestiaire Collective, is just under $600 at the store Sakura Lounge. I could go on forever, but I believe you get the point. Now, before all of you rush straight to sourcing Japanese luxury goods, I want to share with you 8 tips and tricks. Assuming all of us here can't read Japanese, make sure your web browser includes a Google Translate add-on so that you can convert the page automatically to English. Japanese websites are still formatted like we're in the 90s, so unfortunately are not easy to navigate. Where possible, I find it easiest to jump straight to the search tab instead of browsing subcategories. Japanese listings will include key English words like the brand name. However, the best way for you to grab every relevant search result is to use Google Translate to convert your keywords and paste the Japanese equivalent into the search bar. It's best to translate one English word at a time, otherwise Google combines all the translated words together without spacing, which is essentially gibberish. Note, Chanel Pearl Brooch pulled up 72 results, while the full Japanese translation pulled up 384 results. For some strange reason, when you try to sort by price, the ascending and descending options are both labeled the same, but it's the first option which means it's sorted by the lowest price. I found this same problem to exist across other Japanese websites, so I believe it's a matter of translation and somehow the meaning gets lost when it's converted into English. All Japanese online stores have a physical shopfront in Japan. So if you scroll to the very bottom of the listing, you can always find their street address, contact number, business hours, etc. For me, this always adds to my peace of mind that the sellers are full-time professionals dealing commercially in luxury goods and authentication, not just another girl selling a brooch from a wardrobe, which you can never find a way to contact again once she deletes her online listing. At a minimum, all Japanese listings will include the color, size, material, and whether it comes with any packaging or not, alongside using a code for grading the extent of use and visible damage. The grading system is not standardized between shops, so make sure you review each shop's individual ranking system. It may be found at the bottom of the page if you don't see it straight away. It's important to know exactly what you're getting when it comes to pre-loved luxury, so don't hesitate to reach out to the seller for more information and more photos until you're confident and comfortable proceeding with the purchase. Affordability of Japanese listings in a foreign currency depends on the exchange rate, so ideally wait to buy when your dollar is strong. Finding a good Japanese deal is one thing, but being able to complete the order, payment, and shipment in a foreign language is a whole other challenge. This is where Sendico come into the picture. They're a third-party service specializing in helping non-Japanese global customers purchase whatever it is you want from any of Japan's online stores. Today's video focuses on purchasing luxury goods via the Rakuten marketplace, but really you can use Sendico for anything and everything else that Japan's e-commerce is renowned for. Exotic flavored snacks, collectibles, animation and comics, sake, cosmetics, cameras, instruments, homeware, just to name very few. Sendico charges only 500 yen per online order, which is just over $6 Australian. Their homepage search bar is really useful in that it pulls results not only from Rakuten, but also Mercari, which is like the Japanese eBay, alongside Yahoo marketplaces. Under options, you can filter your results to focus only on affordable listings, whether the condition is new or used, etc. Another great feature is that in the top right corner you can select your currency, and instantly every listing title will be automatically converted from Japanese yen for ultimate transparency while shopping. However, once you select a listing to view in detail, Sendico's simple format isn't the best for browsing. So here I recommend you click the yellow button for original page to view the listing direct from the shop with original formatting, where images and text are much easier to understand. If you're interested in an item which is not listed at any of the e-commerce platforms I previously mentioned, or you know exactly what it is you want to buy and you have the link, you can submit an order form with the web page and instructions so Sendico can make sure they grab the right quantity, size, color, etc. Submitting an order does not require payment, so you can hold your money until you're confident that Sendico has checked and confirmed there's available stock, they understand your purchase instructions, and they can fulfill your order. Creating an account is free, and you can use this to track your orders, provide your shipping details, and load Japanese yen so that Sendico can buy on your behalf. Sendico accepts PayPal, which is the safest way for you to shop online. On top of purchasing, receiving, packing and shipping your items for the tiny fee of 500 yen, Sendico can also check your items when they arrive at the warehouse to make sure it accurately matches the listing description. They can consolidate all of your separate purchases from different shops into one single parcel for minimizing international shipping fees. When I received my parcel, it was covered in 2 layers of bubble wrap with additional airbags, but if that's not enough protection for you, Sendico can go crazy with the protective packaging for an extra 500 yen, or they can seal your parcel in stretch film to make sure there's no risk of unwanted tampering or moisture affecting your contents. If you ever need help, Sendico staff can be contacted via the online chat and via the social networks. Sendico will alert you by email once your purchase has reached their warehouse. And for items valued under 200,000 yen, you have total control over what amount and item description is declared to customs, so you can avoid additional fees associated with duties and taxes. Now, just be aware that the value declared is also the value insured, so this can turn nasty if your parcel goes missing, which unfortunately did happen to me, as I have detailed in my previous eBay and PayPal horror story. When it comes to international shipping, Sendico will clearly detail all your available options. With some carriers like EMS or SAL, insurance is complimentary. However, if you nominate DHL or FedEx, insurance will cost an extra 2,500 yen. So everyone, that brings me to the end of today's video detailing step by step as to how I scored my classic Chanel brooch for almost 40% off recommended retail price, and how to use Sendico as a shopping proxy to bring home your amazing luxury buys from Japan. If you're new to shopping pre-loved luxury, especially in a foreign market like Japan, I wish you all the best in navigating this whole new world of exciting opportunities. Amazing deals do exist. Just stay diligent in watching the marketplace and your patience will pay off. For my next video, I'm excited to share with you a detailed comparison of the two most popular vintage Chanel handbags. My classic double flap in black lambskin versus the extremely rare Diana handbag in ivory caviar leather. Stay safe until we meet again.